too. Sorry, Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the most. This is the jet plane flying, limousine driving, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun, Clayton Kisco. And I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom gamers. On this podcast today, we have with us the bad boy, Steve Landis. What's up, Steve? How's it going? Bad boys.
Oh, I don't go.
Bad boy, you're breaking up, but what he was basically
See you later.
Next up, we have, and last but certainly not least, the man, the legend, aka Backdoor, the heartthrob, Rocco Avellino.
The most amazing, the most intelligent, the most talented, the strongest, the best looking, the Bono impersonator, whatever. I don't know, man. You can't just give yourself some awesome shit and then line me up with this, the last guy. The last guy. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, touche. So yeah, we're all here. What you guys been playing lately?
Ooh, No Man's Sky and Smite still. So
No Man's Sky and Smite. Nice.
No Man's Sky, man.
How is it? How is No Man's Sky?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
It's a different kind of play than what I think a lot of people were expecting.
Yeah.
I think they were expecting it to be like MMO and stuff like that. No MMO at all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's exactly what I expected. It's going to be like an exploration game. You're going to do a lot of mining and a lot of learning how to like construct. It's going to be crafting. I think it's a lot of fun. Like so far, like the traveling experience has been pretty cool. Like traveling from one galaxy to another, or solar system to another. I haven't traveled from a galaxy to another galaxy, but I've traveled. In the beginning, it's like you travel from a planet to a planet kind of thing. Get your ship all built up, and then you can start traveling. Like once you get your warp drive, you can travel out of the solar system. It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. All right, we'll have to do like a topic on that, because that's what, from what I understand, the people who had played No Man's Sky, they were like, we don't think people's expectations are going to be met. So
even the creator I think came out like the day of or the day before and was saying the same thing. Like, guys, I just want to make this very clear.
Yeah.
Like, it's not be like this.
Like, it's gotta be frustrating, right? Where you're like, I had a great idea, and they're like, that's a great idea because you're gonna do this, and you're like, no, it was a great idea, but I can't do all that other stuff. Well, it's like, yeah, and you'll do this, and it's like, nah, I don't care.
The thing that sucks about that is like expectations. Like when we create those as individuals, and especially when they're false expectations, like when we get it, it's always a disappointment. And it's like No Man's Sky can be so amazing to a lot of people, they didn't create those expectations, because then they go to play it and they can be like, oh, this game sucks. Because they were expecting something like battling other people in starships and and then there being some like warfare on the ground on planets and seeing other people. No.
I think Steve is wrestling with his laptop.
It sounds like
I'm trying to just figure this. I'm trying to get
the laptop has
thing
become
working.
sentient. Yeah, and then has just dropped a series of elbows onto Steve's back, and now Steve is retaliating.
Give me a call.
And
Just
trying
give
to
me a call right back.
him like the laptop a headlock, right?
Headlock.
And then they're just wrestling. They're wrestling out there. I'm gonna have to give him a call back.
Hey, by the way, talking about going to sleep, I saw a kangaroo choke out another kangaroo in a sleeper hold and put that fucker down.
Wow,
it was so cool.
It was like, dude, kangaroos are crazy.
And he's just staring at the camera like this.
Okay, all right, that was all my
God.
That was perfect timing. Wow,
He's like,
there's so much.
looking at the camera, not even looking at anything else. And he's like,
There's so much going on right now. There's so much.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. This is crazy. Oh,
no. Stop. Your introduction was
Steve.
over.
Steve, we're gonna get copywritten claimed because of that.
No, we're not.
Okay, wow. Like, you're just gonna have to watch this intro because so much stuff was good. Like, Rocco's talking about headlock, and the second he said he got into the headlock, like, you left the call and the camera focused on his eyes and his lips at the same time in two different windows. Like, it was crazy. And then you came back and you're doing this shuffle, and Bad Boys is going. Like, my head's spinning from like just everything that just happened. And now I gotta fix Rocco's head because it's like all like out of whack. So, okay, for those of you guys who don't know, the format of the show is pretty simple. Us Maelstrom gamers, we hop on a Skype each and every week, and we each bring 5 topics for our discussion, but more importantly for your entertainment, and bring those topics, become videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaelstromGamers channel, and they're doled out Monday through Friday, topic by topic, video by video, and on Saturday, all the videos are rolled up into one big video episode. that you can get all for free. If you would like to give us as little as $1, it'd be super helpful and appreciated because it can go back into our show. You go to patreon.com/MaelstromGamers and just maybe one time $1 drop. It's like a tip jar. Think of it like a tip jar. You kind of come on, you see our stuff, our posts, and you're like, oh, these guys are pretty funny. They're mildly entertaining. They try really hard. So I'm going to give them a little A for effort here and just drop $1 in the bucket for them. I won't have to do it every month, but maybe just $1. And you can do that on patreon.com. It'd be super helpful. And look, I get it. You might be in college and, you are poor as hell. And the economy is shit right now. And you're like, look, I really want to support this top 10 iTunes podcast, right? But the problem is I just don't have money. Yeah, we're top 10. We moved up. And the problem is I just don't have the money. So there's free ways to do that too. You can go on to our YouTube page. You can go on to our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. You can comment, like, subscribe, and share all of our stuff. And that helps. We want to hear from you. We also want to kind of grow the audience base. And it's so far so good. So keep it up. And thank you for everyone who's done that so far. We made a shout out to David Fry last time for being our biggest contributor so far. We also made a shout out to Renee Landis. She's MVP of sharing and liking and supporting our channel. So thanks again, Renee. So yeah, that's our supporters. That's our format.
Hey guys, too, as well.
It's actually pronounced Rene.
Oh, Rene.
I just felt like saying that.
Well, now I'm not gonna stop. And look, if you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing, you can hop on YouTube as well and watch us stream our mediocre gaming skills on Smite, on No Man's Sky, on some Uncharted, on some League, Late Night Whispers, all this good fun stuff. So check us out and then come play with us. Our handles are in the description. You can friend us and you can play with us. We want to play with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm not pointing at my penis. I'm just saying.
All right there. No, we won't want that. Little kids out there watching.
I'm sorry.
So let's.
Little kids know what that is.
Wow. Let's get started.
Well,
I mean, not like in a perverted way. It should.
Right.
It's your body.
Sure.
Come on.
It's just you just made it weird.
Adults.
Yeah, and I'm just freaked out a little bit.
Adults.
Rocco, continue to freak us out.
No.
Give us your topic.
Of course.
Or just stutter. Sorry.
Okay, so let's start this off.
All right.
Let's talk about what I like to call little steps. Okay.
Okay.
It's where you go like this and you take small steps really fast.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
So the little steps is this. Okay, it's like the little steps are when you're trying to reach a goal, like a big goal, right? Like you see all the Olympics going on right now, and their big goal is trying to get to a gold medal.
Yes.
What you don't see, though, is the little steps that were happening all throughout the time, the 4 years before they got up to the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. All you see is that event that happens, that occurs, and they get that gold medal, that big event. But all those little steps were necessary to get to even having that goal achieved, that big goal. And those little steps are very important. And I think what happens is that a lot of us don't think of those little steps as how important they are, and we get caught up in those everyday kind of situations. So here's an example real fast. In a game that I play called Smite, you have to master 18 champions before you can play in ranked. So when I would start to master these champions, you have to play around sometimes between 5 games if you're playing really well, up to like 10 games if you're not playing that well to master that champion. So when I would start to play some of these champions, I would play the first game and I'd go in and I'd be like, this beep champion is like the worst champion ever, like the most terrible champion. Whoever developed this guy was just had some screw loose because his abilities don't match.
You monkey.
It's awful.
Make us low-key.
But the thing was this. So, like, I kept my focus on the end game goal, which was I have to master this champion. Regardless if I like him, regardless if his abilities don't work, whatever it is, I have to master this champion. So I kept my focus on the goal, and I put the day in, and I put the next day in, and the next day in. And by the time that I mastered that champion, I was like, this champion's the best champion. Whoever developed this guy, he knew how his abilities work in sync, man. This guy is amazing. He can destroy everybody.
Yeah.
But if I had got myself caught up on those day-to-day steps, those little steps, I would have been like, screw this guy. I'm going to play a new champion and start all over with somebody else. And instead of keeping the focus on, I'm going to master him no matter what, I got through my little steps, and all of a sudden I achieved that goal. And what we don't see is that like we don't keep that focus on the end game goal. We just look at that little step and we go, I'm done. And that's something important. That even applies to like my sales job, right? I could go a day and a day and a day and a day and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. If I keep my focus on the I want 20 sales a month goal, then I know I'm going out there and I'm doing all this different stuff to try to achieve that goal, a 20 sales goal. If I keep my focus on the zero goal, the 0 sales that happen that day, I'll get myself into a rut. I'll get myself locked into this like this snowball effect of like negativity, and then possibly quit, possibly not achieve that goal that I was keeping my focus on, and not just see that as a little step throughout that day to achieve the big goal later on. You know what I mean? So I guess my topic is just about that, and about putting an awareness on those little steps. And perhaps you guys can see some examples that you've done in your life recently. Like, for example, Steve, I know you're doing, League of Legends a lot as of right now. So you're taking obviously little steps. Like, I don't know if you have a goal.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
know if you
talk
have an
about that.
end game goal. Like, do you have an end game goal? Have you actually specifically said, I'm going to make
He's
goal
told
2?
me his end
You know what I
game
mean?
goal, and it's
I've
not
had
to punch Clay in the face when playing with him, and he fucks up and ruins the entire game
exactly.
and brings Steve down to bronze. He's got to take a breather and remember that the path to gold is there, and to not get frustrated and leave.
No,
So,
actually,
what's your goal?
on my screen, I actually have gold. I don't have a certain level of gold. It just says gold.
You
pretty
should be
much.
specific with it, because that could mean 5, it could mean 1. You know what I
true.
mean? And so like if you have a bad game or whatever it is, you just keep your focus on that goal instead of anything else that had occurred. You know what I mean? Like you're like, that was just practice, whether it was good or bad practice, getting myself to that goal. Like I'm getting to that goal every day. I'm working towards it.
And that's what's changing my mindset in the game a lot too. Is I've been picking
like
Rick.
less stressed or more learning.
Well,
wise.
more learning, because if you're stressed, you're not going to be able to focus on learning.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you're just going to be focused on like bad games. And then I was just starting to focus on like, okay, what did I do differently? What could I have done?
So here's
yeah.
my train of thought about why that occurs. Okay, because this is just a belief. Okay, but I think this is how I see the reality in my eyes. Whenever you have a belief or whatever it is, like you have your goal, it's I'm going to be gold, right? You keep thinking that, you keep seeing that. What happens is that creates thoughts and actions to create that goal to come true. So your now actions and thoughts have changed. You now view the game differently. You're now viewing it as in, what am I doing wrong to improve myself? Which is the exact thoughts you need to eventually create the outcome of gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what I see is that like based off of whatever you got as your belief, but your belief is I'm going to be gold, then you start to create these thoughts and other actions that are going to start to apply that. Now, if it's negative, it's like, oh, I'm fucking shit here, then you're going to create negative thoughts, negative actions that are going to occur and create that to be the outcome of your outcome is I'm a shitty player, if that's what it is you believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I guess I see it. So like it's changing, I guess, how you view the game is the way that I see that occurring. So like now you've been talking about asking Richard, Richard, another player that's kind of in platinum right now, and asking him to like kind of analyze what you're doing. Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I just tell him if there's anything I can do differently and everything, he'll let me know.
So what have you seen since you've been changing up the learning and the thought process? Have you been increasing like in your I guess bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I got the 77 LP. I was almost actually in my provisionals, and then we had a couple bad games and everything like that. Where we
I was not a part of the bad games.
he wasn't a part of those ones.
We
no.
won the one I played with.
What about you, Clay? Like, have you noticed anything like that you got going on in life?
Yes. Well, I'm saving for a new computer, and so
Okay.
it has been almost a 9 months, 12 months, like. Every month you put some money away, and it's really easy to be like, oh, Overwatch came out, I could probably just take 60 here, and then oh man, everybody's going to this, I could probably just take 50 out, and then oh, this new game came out, I could probably just take another 60 or 100 because Legion, I want to play World of Warcraft, and it's like, well, I could, but then it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? That are spread out so enough where you don't feel that impact of what it is, but in reality, like my willpower is still there, and I'm like, okay, every month it's just a baby step closer, and so now I'm about a month off getting that new computer, so that's pretty exciting. Did the same thing
Very
with my
cool.
tattoo. So
Yeah.
that's really been my my small steps to a bigger goal kind of thing as of late. There's also some stuff from work, starting a new job, just trying to set goals and slowly understand one concept at a time to build to that goal.
So something that had recently happened in mine is that
Yeah.
I just recently got a truck, which was something that was on
Electric
my goal
blue.
board for a while. I've been
Sexy.
talking about the truck, I think, for about 9 months. I've had it on the goal board since we created it about 2.5 months ago. And we just ripped it off the goal board because it was finally all those small steps worked its way up to the big step, which
Yeah.
was, bam, there it is. Now you have
Saving
a truck.
money and then
Doing the things that were necessary to get to the point where you can have that as a reality. You
Yeah.
know, but actions started occurring and thoughts started occurring to make it so that that could become, because it was such a focus in my mind always. It started to allow those to become since it's a focus, it's something I'm putting my thoughts to. It's starts to create more actions towards that.
Did you have
Yeah, I remember I'm trying to get a truck.
Did you have any
Maybe not
setbacks in that? Because those things can just
Of course.
And-
Well, so I view setbacks as areas for growth. Okay? I look at setbacks as you can only go further. It's like the archer kind of saying. It's you have to take the arrow and you got to pull it back first to let it go launch out. You know what I
Like
mean?
that.
I see life that way. That old, I think I've told you guys the Chinese saying of the farmer goes and his his horses leave, come back. Did I ever tell you guys that one?
No.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, it's just about don't label things as good or bad because you really don't know at the end of the day why they're occurring. Horses go away, bad idea, come back. There's tons of horses, good idea. The son rides the horse, he falls off, breaks his arm, bad. But the Chinese army comes the next day to recruit the son. The son can't get recruited because he has a broken arm. Good. It's don't judge whether they're good or bad. You never know really why an event is occurring and happening.
Yeah.
So there was what you would call or label as setbacks and things like that. But all successful people I've ever seen in my life, no matter where they came from, art, they came from actors, actresses, they were musicians, they were businessmen, they were whatever that it doesn't matter where they came from. The one common denominator that I saw in successful people is belief in themselves, no matter what, the most unbelievable self-confidence there, because they've had people tell them that they're not going to make it, that they will never get the parts that they want, that they will be unsuccessful or whatever it is, and they never believe that. They would believe in themselves and in their goal of achieving that. And so no hurdle was ever seen as something that was going to stop them, and they achieved it because no matter what, they weren't going to stop till that goal was achieved.
So you're talking about
You know what I
small
mean?
steps in order to kind of build
Work your
towards
way to the big step.
right,
Yeah.
and then also hold that level of confidence and believing in yourself to when things are tough, right? That you can kind of
get
keep
through.
going, and don't believe that all.
And
these bad
another way to
things
get
are
through those small
terrible.
steps is to maybe change your focus to the big step. You know what I mean? Instead of looking at that small step that day, know that it's just a small step to achieve the big step. You know what I mean? Because it could be tough to be, oh, wow, I got a 0 today in my small step in sales.
I also
you
think
know?
it's interesting that too many small steps could be a bad thing. Because I feel if you have this goal of I'm going to be an Olympic swimmer, and it's Clay, you've never swam professionally in your life. This is fine, it's fine. But a bigger goal, intermediate goal would be just compete at a local swimming tournament, right? And work your
But
way.
that would be, yeah, exactly. So I say, if you have this is how I think of it. If you have the big goal of being the Olympic swimmer, it's up there. Okay, that's
Right.
fine to be there. Now that process of being that intermediate swimmer is going to occur somewhere along that line. It'll be one of the small steps too. So I look at it as you're given, some way or another to start yourself off to be an Olympic swimmer right now, don't you?
Yeah.
One step. At least the step 1, don't you, to start becoming an Olympic swimmer.
Right.
Step 2, you don't need to know the details about that. You ask any millionaire, did you know every detail that was going to occur to make you a millionaire? And I bet you everyone will say no. They didn't know what step 2 was going to be. They just did what they knew step 1 was. Step 2 occurred, and then now they started doing step 2 whenever that happened. Then step 3 came, and then they started doing step 3. Everything working their way up to the Olympic gold swimmer. It will start to come to you because what happens is you start to open those doors of opportunity by being involved in those steps and making that action occur. So I see it as you might not know 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever it takes to get you all the way to there. You can't plan all of that. You won't know that. What you can plan though is at least step 1. You know that you got to get in the fucking pool and start working your body out and start swimming, and from there,
Right.
I'm sure you can find out step 2, which is like getting in a community of people that are swimmers, and then step 3 probably occurs that you're in a competitive swim for at least your first one. Step 4 goes you're going to the tournaments of the regional area. You have no clue. It just probably occurs.
Yeah.
It's like
5,
think of anything that happens in
drugs.
think in retro in your memories.
Step 6,
how
profit.
anything how you got from one goal to the end goal. You probably didn't know every step that was going to happen in between. Think about it even on your own level.
Yeah, that's pretty
You know
true.
what I mean?
There's a lot of outside circumstances too.
Well,
I feel like working
I
out.
think those are factors that help you in life.
Sure, yeah.
I think they're
But they're unpredictable,
we'll look
is
at
my
them as
point.
synchronicities, I call them, where one thing lines up with another to make you help achieve that goal later on that you had no clue that person or event or whatever it was going to come into your life.
Yeah.
To make, you get from point A to point B.
That's definitely something I've learned over time and as I've gotten older, and like had those unpredictable things happen and fear the worst, think that it's going to be bad, and see that, wow, I wouldn't have been exactly achieving this if it wasn't for that bad thing that had happened or perceived to be bad thing, right? So that's really
Age
interesting.
did bring it around too for me. Like it's definitely getting older and the more maturity, and the children is a big deal too because it adds another responsibility to your life and it adds another level of thought, like deeper thought.
Yeah,
in the sense of like,
you're right.
and now I got to think a little bit deeper than all the shit I've been doing before because I'm a lot more responsible and I have like the future of like other individuals in my hands. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
babies in your hands. And you're like, I got to do something with these guys. And even with that process, right? Look at that process. Did you know every detail that you were going to get from where you were at the beginning, Clay, to where you are now?
What, with
right?
kids?
Like with a kid, right?
I knew everything. I read all the books.
I'm just saying,
they've all been right.
all the different steps I went through, but look at where you're at now, right? 12 hours of sleep, all these different things. Like, it's where you guys wanted to get to, but look at all the little steps that had to occur to get there. You know what I mean? Like, and you would have never been able to paint all the things that would have had to happen to get there.
No, it's wild. And it's cool because with each new day, right, that time in our lives, those 3 months, 4 months, where it was just like no sleep whatsoever and like just everything was about having a kid. Like that, at the time, it felt like this was never going to end and we were never going to get back to normal. And now it feels like a very small, and
I
much
love
smaller
the saying
and smaller
of this
part.
too shall pass. Like,
but
but like you have to hold that true whenever you're going through those experiences. No,
my saying is none shall pass. Quoted by the late great Black Knight.
Yes, none shall pass.
So I've passed you in combat. No, you have not.
So what you're saying, Clay, is you guys are gonna have another kid pretty soon?
What's up?
So what you're saying is you're having another kid pretty soon then?
Yeah, we're gonna have 3.
Oh yeah, bam!
We're going triplets.
All right away.
Yeah, no.
Triplets.
No, I mean we like are like, oh my god, it'd be so great to clone this little water. Like, oh, it'd be great to have a little daughter, and it's like, and then we're like, we get a little serious tone. We're like, yeah, another kid, and we're like, yeah, that's not gonna happen right now. I can't do it. I mean, give us a year. I mean, well, her body's gotta like. they say you gotta have 18 months, right? Like between birth, so.
No, I honestly, like, it took me a second for us wanting to have another one, too. And then when we knew we wanted to, we just wanted to make sure. We had an idea of, like, 3 years, because it was, like, my brother and I were 3 years, so we had that kind of going. But
yeah, 3 years is nice.
Hey, let's move on to this next topic, right?
Okay.
But I want to leave these guys with one last thing real quick. Okay? This is a saying that I try to hold true, like, to a lot of things. It goes, if you failed to plan, then you've planned to fail. Okay? That's something like, I'm just saying, it's a saying, though, like, that I really try to think of. It's very important, because, like, really, if you think about it, if you failed to plan, then you've planned to fail. So you don't have no direction, no way of which way you're trying to go, and you don't even know what step 1 would be, because you're throwing out nothing.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's move on.